What's up, guys? On this week's episode of the podcast, we have a very special guest named Kill the Noise. Actually, his name's Jake, but he's a musician, goes by Kill the Noise.
Mr. Noise.
Yes.
Anyway, your season-long fantasy football team may be going strong.
Or failing.
But you don't have to wait until week 16, all those weeks and weeks away, to get paid, baby.
Yeah.
Put your fantasy skills to the test every week this season at DraftKings.com.
With 1 week fantasy, there are no season-long commitments. Got an injured player?
Fuck
no
'em.
problem. It's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck playing with the same players. And get this, DraftKings.com is crowning a new millionaire every week this season.
Just pick your players, pile up the points, and pick up your cash.
Yeah.
That's it. Believe me, you've never experienced football like this before.
Believe him!
This is not fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
Hurry to DraftKings.com now, use promo code INSIDE, and play for free with your first deposit in this Sunday's $1 million fantasy football contest, where first place takes home $100 grand.
Not the candy bar, the real thing.
Enter INSIDE, INSIDE, for free entry now, only at DraftKings.com. What's the address, Elliot?
DraftKings.com.
All right, here he is, Kill the Noise. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ETC Podcast. We have a very, very special guest with us this week, Mr. Jake from Kill the Noise.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here.
I'm happy to finally be here, actually, because we've been like kind of following each other online. I remember meeting you a couple years ago too. I've always meant to like get involved. I
Well, it's the perfect time. You have a new album coming out, Occult Classic.
Yeah.
October 9th.
October 9th.
And you have a new tour coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. I just had to wait around for you to like fucking put out an album, man. What the fuck?
I know, it's been a while, man. Like
Yeah.
I've actually like, I think it's like, from my time moves at a different pace when you're like working on it than it does for people that are like waiting for it.
Yeah.
Same thing with everything. Like I'm sure with video games, I've been waiting for like Fallout 4 to come out.
Yeah.
And
For
like,
many years. Yeah.
I was reading something yesterday that said that like the amount of time that since it was announced is like now is more than the time we have to wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
And it's like you kind of like are always trying to find ways to make it seem like
Occupy
there's
that
less
time with something. Yeah.
for
Well, that's
something
the
to
thing is
happen.
you're touring, you're playing shows, you're producing and stuff like that. So time moves a lot faster in your head.
Yeah.
When you're going to do a gig across the country or across the world, and then you're like, oh well, a week and a half just went by, but it seemed like that.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, someone's sitting there waiting, like on your SoundCloud, pressing refresh every 5 minutes. Like, what the hell?
I hope they are. I mean,
yeah.
it's like definitely, man. Like, and also the thing is for me, it's like I'm seeing the progress of it being finished, and then, I mean, I look up from my work and it's like, damn, like 2 years have gone by. That's crazy, man. Like, doesn't seem like that, but yeah, it takes time. And then once you finally have it finished, it takes time to like, create the whole plan of how you're going to put it out. And, like we were talking earlier, like making some videos and doing all the other creative things around it. It's like trying to figure out a way to plan everything so it's not all disjointed and
Yeah.
Well, I love the aesthetic you've chosen for just sort of like the cover and then all like the hand with the eye and the crown and the leaves and shit.
I appreciate that, man. I didn't actually draw that though. I wish I was that artistic.
Well, it's a great aesthetic that you gave the okay to.
Yeah,
thumbs up.
The guy that did it, his name is El Diablo, is like his like
The devil.
pseudonym. His name's Caesar, and came across some of his work online, and I really kind of wanted to step away from just using the skull thing on everything.
The skull with like the diamond eyes and
but still use some of the kind of core elements of that visual stuff. So there's the diamond in there, and then there is actually a little skull. But I just kind of felt like that if the music on the record isn't like it's kind of a evolutionary step for me as a creative person.
So as of right now, like we've heard, I think 4 songs have been released, and all 4 of them are kind of like all over the place, but they're kind of tied together with this kind of string that goes through them. I mean, obviously, we'll get to talking about Dolphin on Wheels. That came up many times in the subreddit. But let's talk about some of like the genres that you experimented with and your thought process about stepping away from just doing like dubstep stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess the thing I kind of wrote about it, did like a Rolling Stone article thing, and I don't know if anybody read it, Maybe they did.
People only watch ETC. They don't read Rolling Stone
What's
anymore.
Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone?
Is that a magazine?
The band with all those old guys?
But I said in there, I was like, just saying how all throughout my career, I haven't really written that much dubstep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy that I think maybe it's just the fact that the stuff that people like the most is the dubstep stuff.
Well, pretty much everything
cool.
that came out between 2008 and 2012, regardless of the genre, was labeled by Americans as
That's
dubstep.
true,
It's got loud noises in it.
I think it's kind of funny, like that people still like kind of tag Deadmau5 tunes as dubstep, and like I think he has actually done a couple that kind of resemble dubstep, but he like was like just messing with people in that period where dubstep was like, if you like Google Trends when it was at its peak, he like was
He's
just
making clickbait music.
Yeah, he was, and
This is a dubstep song.
but kids like just they don't know, so they're like, this is like they think that that's dubstep, like. But it's fun, and that's stuck around for years after that. So I think that maybe there is even like a little bit of that fraction of people's kind of like they just don't understand genre, which is great, I think, in the long run. For a guy like me that does make a lot of different styles of music, it's like I don't really care what you call it, but I think that there is like a certain portion of my audience that expects me to make like just really aggressive music.
On the heavier side for sure.
And that's great because I do obviously love that style of music, but it at a certain point becomes limiting to your creativity, you know, because I have all these other ideas that I want to explore, and I've seen what it can do to other artists where they just kind of like are maybe even happy to keep that loop going of like, all right, this is what you guys want, here you go. And at a certain point, it's like, what do I want? Like, what am I trying to do creatively? What makes me happy? Like, what inspires me to think of ideas and all that? And I think that reservoir gets lower and lower, and you have to kind of open up different valves, so to speak, to let other ideas come into your world. And sometimes that means that an entire project kind of ends, I mean, same thing with video games and movies and stuff. It's like like a lot of my favorite, like Breaking Bad, for example. It's like, I remember like the differences between like a show like Breaking Bad and like Walking Dead or like Lost or something. It's like all those shows I initially was like super excited about. Yeah. And then you can kind of tell after a while they're just kind of like delivering on the ratings and the expectations of the audience, and like they're not taking control of the show. And like I like with I remember reading we were talking about J.J. Abrams, weren't we, a little bit ago?
Yeah, the expectation for Star Wars and how like
but I think he's a great guy to do it. I mean, even though like I wasn't really a fan of what he did with Lost, but because it kind of felt like they just like.
I never watched Lost. I heard by the end of it, I was like, everyone's like,
it just turned like very like clickbaity.
Oh, okay.
They ran out of rope at some point, and they were just sort of like scrambling
That's
around.
That's my point. Like with it's like there's a lot of shows where they're playing on the ratings thing. And same thing with a lot of musicians that play on the ratings thing. Where it's like, oh, this is trending. We got to do a track like this, and we got to keep making singles, and they got to come out this far between each other, and to keep your social media stats going like this,
Post more memes.
And it's like, to me, the people that stand out in this type of an environment are people that go, this is the idea, man. Like, and I'm gonna say that like, I mean, when you get into a situation where people have created the real series, which is like a truncated version of the actual. Like I think someone did that with Deep Space Nine. They like made like it's like
did a re-edit?
1/4 of like the length of the whole series, because that, and the X-Files they did it with. It's like the mythology or whatever, where it's like this is the actual version of the show. It's like about 1/3 of the size of the actual show, and like that's what I loved about Breaking Bad too. Is like there isn't any really filler content, No. It's just like, and they ended it. And like they're very kind of like tasteful about the way they executed that whole idea. And I try to do that.
Run forever,
Try to do that as a musician. It's like it's always a weird line you have to kind of walk with being productive and having content for your audience, but also maintaining your dignity as in your creative vision,
Yeah.
So.
Well, that answers the first question from Mason Need Ladder. He basically said, recently I've noticed EDM artists trying to break away from genres because it labels them. However, I think it becomes a problem when an artist gets so focused on not being classified by a genre that their sound becomes more about sounding different than making artwork that means something to them. Do you think that's a healthy practice?
Nah, I mean, that's a line that it's weird too because, again, like when we're talking about, I don't remember how much of this, because we actually been like talking before this started recording, so I don't remember what part we recorded or not, but just the idea of like how I see my world versus how the audience sees my world. So we were recording that because we're talking about the time thing, you know? And it's like, I think it's the same thing with the creative process too, and like the stuff that you put out. It's like, to me, all this stuff makes sense, you know? Because I'm like day to day thinking about all this shit and like, I'm like, I'm sick of making, I started a tune yesterday that sounded like some shit that I wrote in 2013, you know? But I want to do something different. So I'm like consciously putting this on some back burner somewhere, and I'm going to work on this song because it's different, you know?
And that's not necessarily a bad thing too, because a lot of people put things aside and come back to it and find it's easier to come back to after you've completely taken it away from your mind. You come back and you go, oh, I know exactly what's going to work for this. A lot of people do that with writing. Writing scripts and stuff.
And also, I think too, like even like from the out, because there's records that have come out where I've been like, oh, this is clearly this guy is just like trying to be weird for the sake of weird, or different more likely different for the sake of different, and like that might be my like off the cuff judgment of an artist taking a turn creatively, but. A good example for me is like with 9 Inch Nails, which is a band that I've like followed since I was like a little kid, you know? And I was like right there with them all through high school, like, and then he put out, then there was this big space where there's no music, and then all of a sudden came out with Teeth.
Yeah.
And then after that, there was all these other albums that came out after that came out like almost
some like ambient albums and stuff like
fire,
that.
Yeah. And I was like, what is going on here? I was like, like I don't like any of this shit, you know? But then some time had passed. I'd gone and seen him live. I still go every time he's around.
Yeah,
here.
incredible live artist.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden you see these songs in context in the show.
How he wants you to view them.
Yeah, and it's like, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I'm starting to understand what's going on here. Maybe I, was judging this thing based on my own expectations of what I think he should be doing or whatever. So that's the thing I say to like anybody that's judging an artist. It's like you might see someone and you're like, I don't know about that. Like where you're going right now. That's fine. Like I think that's fair, you know? Like,
but it's always a thing on the internet too, where it's just like you also have the option to not listen to this or not watch this or anything like that, and just
I think that if there's anything I know, I mean, that's the thing. Like even the kids I get pissed off about. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, it's like I'm like constantly like flip flopping.
You had a little rant last night.
Yeah, and it's about this kind of shit too, man. It's like I get online, I read the comments from some of the kids, and I'm like, I hate to say kids, it sounds condescending.
Yeah, we do it all the time. Don't worry about it. They get it.
I'm like almost 35, so they're probably kids in relativity. But I just look at like just how quick people are to make a judgment about stuff. I'm just like, man, what the fuck, dude? Like, spend so much time making this shit, and it's like, give it a chance, man. Like, listen to the song in context with the album, and also if you're like a fan, like you say you are, like listen to it in context of all my work. Come see a show, like, give it a chance. And thankful. Whoa.
Some commenters coming in here. Excuse me.
Dude, on my way over, people were driving. Like I was telling you, I was pulling maneuvers.
Yeah.
There's like all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there right now. But anyway, long story short, like, thankfully, most of the comments are great. But always, even
it's
like
just those ones, those little.
Yeah, it's just like
outliers.
I can just tell, and then I click on their profile and I go to their page and I look at the other stuff they like. And I'm just like, dude. I mean, you're talking shit about me, but you like just someone. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, you know what I mean? But I'm just looking at like, I get it though, man. Like in a certain way, people also, even if they do have like weird taste in music and stuff, they're kind of judging you in context to the things that you've done that they like. So it's like, I can't sit there and be like, you're fucking wrong because Like, where's your, like, argue with me about it. Let me, like, pull apart your logic.
Yeah, you don't want to mentally
music's
connect
such a dumb thing to, like, you can't argue about it. It's all so subjective.
It is, too. Yeah. But beyond that, too, it's like, man, I know, like, I see myself in the kid that's talking shit. And I'm like, I've done this before. Like, I've been you talking shit. So at the end of the day, I'm like, with that being said, I've been like talking shit about something like an expert, like, oh, this guy, like his last record, blah, blah, blah. There's so many risks that he took, and even the ones that he didn't nail, like, you can feel the, like, you know, whatever, just a pseudo, like, expert opinion on this guy's career or whatever. But I know at the core of it, the reason that when someone even puts themselves out there to criticize, because they put themselves up for criticism right away by their peers, because someone could be like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, you know, and then everyone's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Like, turns into so for someone to put themselves out there and give their opinion in the first place means that they actually like what you're doing. That's what they call it. Like, some like hip hop guys are like, if you're a hater, you're actually a fan, you know? Because you're actually taking time to put yourself out there.
You know me, you know my music, and you're taking time to comment.
Yeah, so I try to remember that, even though I'm on SoundCloud being like, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, guys, I'm like under a lot of stress, man. Like, I really appreciate you guys, but fuck you, you know? Like,
I really appreciate you, but fuck you. That should be your thank you section on the physical album. Let's get into another one of the questions.
One from AM Create. He said, you share a lot of your thoughts on life and share great ideas in doing so.
Yeah.
But what is one message that you really emphasize and would like everyone to know?
I mean, just like that, I think the biggest thing that I keep coming back to, I just think about the times I get the most frustrated. And like the thing that I keep coming back to that I really feel is like true. Because a lot of the other shit that I say over the years, I've kind of felt like I've been in other experiences where I'm like, maybe that isn't true all the time, you know? But I think the one thing that's true all the time, especially if you're on like a creative path, is that you have to like create a world with the people that support what you're doing. Just your friend. It is just your friends, you know? Just like, and sometimes that means it's people that you know in real life, but sometimes it's like a community of people online. It's like, man, you got to stick together with your friends and like, you know, push each other to get better, and like not reference everything that you're doing with what everybody else in the world is doing. It's like create your own little ecosystem, your own environment to be creative in, and support each other, and like, and do ideas because you guys think it's dope. Like, now that I've gotten to a point where I'm like referencing and like hanging out with all these different groups of people and like going in and out of different people's worlds, and like even at, you know, at festivals you can watch somebody else play, and like you get all these ideas in your head of what you think, how you think things are supposed to be, and that's bullshit, you know? Like, I was there's this really good, I posted it actually on Twitter about this interview that Neil deGrasse Tyson did with, did I say his name right?
Yeah, I think so.
I always flip around the deGrasse Tyson part. Is it Neil Tyson deGrasse?
No,
Neil Tyson.
Degrassi.
Degrassi, all right. Yeah. Him and Ed Snowden were talking to each other.
Oh, yeah. Hey. That was today that Ed Snowden joined Twitter?
Yeah, well, no, but they actually did like an interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud. It's awesome. But one of the things that they said has nothing to do with any of the NSA shit or anything. It's just about how science and, you know, him with like doing all like the cryptology and all this kind of crazy stuff, and Neil Tyson being like an astrophysicist. It's like the thing that they both have in common that they were talking about is that like they're always challenging the way that like things have always been done. It's like, that's not how you make progress. You have to like look at how, you know, you have to be asking questions all the time about like, how did they do that? How did they do this? And at a certain point, when you follow that train, you get to a point where you're like, well, I don't agree with this guy, even though he's making tons of money and like everyone's talking about him. I think it sucks. And like me and my friends think that. So like we're like doing our own experiments over here that's gonna fucking prove that, you know? And that's like, has always been my approach to being creative. And you know, sometimes you gotta like fall back and be like, accept criticism and things like that. Well, obviously,
it's good advice too, because it's been like a societal change that everyone just everyone has an opinion and they're always right and everyone always is right. Like politically, through entertainment, in news, in criticism, like movie critics, all up and down the line is just like, this sucks, and I don't care why it sucks. It just fucking sucks.
Yeah, we think suck, or more commonly, I mean, like with Facebook with like likes, and like Instagram with hearts, and Twitter with favorites. It's like we live in a society that like is just kind of like fueled by like this like positive feedback thing. So it's like that's the reason why on Instagram the most like popular things are like funny memes or like hot person, man or woman, you know, or both. And like, you know, you're talking about anyway. But you know what I mean? It's like, and then someone goes like, hey, like, you know, controversial thing that is leaning towards everyone liking or disliking. I mean, that's why the Ed Snowden stuff's kind of interesting if you read like the comments and stuff, because he's like, from one lens, he's like a hero. From another lens, he's a villain. Yeah. From this other more fuzzy lens, he's kind of a little bit of both, you know? And like, but we live in such a yes or no kind of online environment that people just go like, I mean, I'm sure you guys know when you post content, it's like once the wave starts going in a certain direction, it's like, it's over, man. Like you can go on there and try to like
say something, but
break apart the logic and show people that, some guy just might go on there and be like, this sucks, and like have some kind of catchy line with it, and everyone's like, haha, yeah, like fucking
thumbs up this guy. Well, we deal with it sometimes where it's like, and I'm sure you've done the same thing on SoundCloud or wherever, where we'll go in on our own accounts and be like, hey, no, this is why we did this, and they'll be like, oh, dude, I was just joking. Hey, I'm so sorry. I really like your content.
Oh shit, you replied.
That's what I mean.
Sorry,
though.
Jake. I love you, man.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's like, yo, fuck you, man. Like I went to your SoundCloud, all your songs suck. I'm just like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. And he's like, dude. Like, you could just tell how, like, just destroyed he is. He's like, I was just trying to get your attention, man. Like, you just, like, totally just, like, ripped me apart, man. So, I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm, like, trying to be more controlled about that. Yeah. I mean, people are just in this environment, man, where it's like, I get it, dude. It's like, we all look at comments, and, you know, if you post, like, a selfie of yourself or something, everyone's like, ooh, hot. Like, heart, some shit. Someone's like, yo, you're fucking ugly. It's like, yo, fuck you, man. You didn't respond to any of those other people that were like bigging you up. Yeah. You only responded to the guy.
Everything's cool with those people.
Shit. Yeah. So it's like, dude, that's the kind of environment we created. It's like this weird, polarized environment where either everybody's like this mob mentality, or people are trying to stand out by being negative, like fucking Donald Trump and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's totally playing the media like
master troll.
He just got it. He's got.
The dude. There was an article the other day about how he like statistically poises himself to be in line with people's outrage in generalities about the country, where they're like, we're pissed. Like America as a whole has shown in the polls to be angry about this specific thing, this topic, and he feeds off of that and becomes wants to try to be everyone's candidate because like, oh yeah, you don't like taxes, well I got this, or if you don't like this, like he basically bases it off of the data that's out there proving that that people want to hear these things, regardless if you can come through with it or not.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I just started listening to, believe it or not, to Howard Stern.
Oh really?
I don't know why. Like actually,
the good years are so far behind him, Jake.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, I've like picked up things here and there, but just the reason why is because my wife's car has XM radio in it, and I was using her car for a while, and like I stumbled on it, and I was like, I just kind of wrote this guy off as being an asshole, but he's a smart guy.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant.
He's got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, but he was talking about Trump in particular, and like, he was saying, I'm paraphrasing, but he was just saying he doesn't think that Donald Trump ever thought that he would get this far. Because Donald Trump's agenda has always been, I read like a New York Times article about his whole kind of like history, even going back as far as like his father and all this kind of stuff. But his whole agenda has always been just about Trump. I mean, it's clear.
Be visible and be out there and like remind everyone Donald Trump's still here.
And it's so fucked up because it's like, in a nutshell, he kind of represents where our values are in general. So it's like, he doesn't give a shit. He's talking about this wall he's going to build.
Yeah.
Which is fucked, man. I mean, that's like some shit in a movie. Like the evil empire is building a wall to like separate the world, really.
Did you see the South Park from last week?
No, is that what it's about?
They touched on that.
Yeah, we were in Hawaii last week, and we're like, Trump needs to come here and build a wall around this fucking island, too.
How you gonna do that?
Part of America.
But just that idea that, like, this guy, I mean, he really... I didn't mean to turn this to, like, super political.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're not even being political by talking about Donald Trump because it's a complete farce.
It isn't. Yeah, but, you know, just the idea that he would do something like that where it's like... It seems like his agenda really at the end of the day is just to do this thing. I mean, for sure, it'd be like the Trump wall, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it would go down in history. It'd be in history books. Like, people would be like, yeah, this fucking guy, he built a fucking wall. It's like crazy that we ever allowed him to do this. Like, and then this other president came and broke down the wall, like, and it was this big moment. You know what I mean? It's like
it's like the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the exact same thing. David Hasselhoff's gonna have to sing on it to bring us all together.
I just think that people, I mean, this goes into like the shit we were talking about, where people comment and say shit. It's like people are just like reacting to like the environment that they're in. They don't think it. No one thinks they have any control. No one thinks it when they say, "Hey, this fucking song sucks," and you're like, "Wait a minute!" You like kind of break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, I think that kids are like they're so used to like saying shit and it just goes into this void and like, no, it doesn't have an effect, but it does. Like this, and it has the biggest effect. Going back to the question, is when it's you and your buddies and like, or if you're girls. I don't mean to use this. I'm not trying to make this a guy or a girl thing. It's when you and your friends, there we go, are together being creative. It's like then all of a sudden the things that you say do matter, and like your opinions matter. And when you get together and you make something, it's fucking cool. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because you're all excited. It's like a team thing, And like even now I work with a team, and like it's not fun when you're out in the world by yourself and you think that the things that you do don't matter, And like I think that in this environment, it's like cool. The world has changed forever. We're always going to be in this situation where the rest of the world is all around you. But I think it's particularly weird environment because you feel like you don't have any effect on it, and that's fucked, But making music, being creative with your homies, like it gives you power, So that's the one thing I would say.
Wow. the TLDR on that.
You'll just edit that whole part.
So anyways, who says I want to be a monkey on Dolphin on Wheels? Let's just like jump into that one immediately.
Dylan.
Okay, good.
Dylan says that one,
Just leave the 20 minutes philosophical talk. So all I really want to know is who is the monkey who says
so actually like the intro is RH.
Oh, really?
Talking. The
Roadhog is in the room, by the way.
So it's RH talking in the beginning, and then it's Tim Smith's daughters are the kids, and Tim's wife is the mom. Dylan is the monkey, and I believe it or not, I'm not actually even any of the voices in it. I think maybe like me talking in the like way in the background somewhere.
So this okay. So you had a song. I don't want to say
I'm the
similar.
dolphin guy.
I don't want to sound like this. That you had a song similar to this, but Meowski 666 was a thing.
That was similar.
Yeah, and is that kind of you guys wanted to touch back on something like that to get off one of the questions from the subreddit. Kind of tying into this, Peter Cooley asks, "Are you and Dylan going to make more Meowski 666 songs, or is that a one and done sort of thing?" I love both Meow Machine and Dolphin on Wheels. I think there needs to be more animal based EDM songs.
I mean,
there was another one on the. There was someone that had another one that kind of tied into just that. It's not a big deal. It's so basically like how did the song come about? Was Meowski 666 kind of an inspiration or?
Yeah, I mean, like I remember being in both situations, because I've worked with him on a couple of things, like even before the Meowski thing. He like remixed one of my tracks, and then we did a song together for his album that came out in Owsla, like 2011 or something like that, called Dill the Noise.
Yeah.
But I always like working with him because
he seems like a very funny guy and easy to get along with.
For some reason, it just feels easier to work with him. Like, there isn't as many expectations. Like, it's just like, yo, let's try this. Like, and we're like laughing most of the time, and like, it's just fun to work with him, you know? Because when I'm working on my own stuff, it's like, I'm just like super, just like pissed off and like, this sounds like shit, and like throwing stuff away. But when you got someone like him in the room, it's like he's always kind of got a good, he's got a good like vibe in general, you know? And there isn't, and it's like, let's make something stupid. And it's like, again, the idea of like being with your buddies and like you kind of make the rules.
Yeah.
It's like we're not thinking about anything other than like this is hilarious, you know? And I think that for like with Meowski and stuff. I remember being at this festival when that, remember that Bringing the Cats track?
Yeah.
Bringing the Cats. And I was like, it'd be funny if it said Bringing the Cats and like actually cats were like making noise. It'd be great. And remember like Jingle Cats?
Yeah.
I was like, this is sick. Like,
yeah.
Surprised nobody's done this yet.
Yeah. So you do use a lot of like samples, both like obviously animal sounds, but also like some YouTube clips and stuff like that. Like
inspirational speech.
Yeah. Well, that was.
Yeah.
I think now. Yeah. Well, now I'm trying not to do that because like, I mean, I'm sure you guys already know in this business, it's like you gotta be careful what you use without permission and stuff. There's a time a long time ago, maybe like 5 years ago, where you can maybe get away with that stuff a lot more than you can now. And I think that like, obviously the more visible you are, the more people kind of go after you.
There's whole companies now that exist solely to basically, like, let's say you make the video of the kid who just learned how to ride a bike. This company will find that video within like 10 minutes and set up a revenue sharing thing with them and just be like, you give us half the money and we will hunt down anyone anywhere who uses audio, video, any of this and just protect like your stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I can imagine at a certain point in the future, like, that dolphin thing, they'll be like,
what dolphin sound is that?
Whose dolphins did you use in that? It's like...
Copyright CBS, Flipper, 1955. We're coming after you.
It's like I represent...
The dolphin's been dead for years. He has no legal representation.
I'm an attorney representing the dolphin that you've violated.
Yeah.
It's like... But, so I think that with both of those ideas, it's just kind of like... From hanging out with him, making music, it's like... come up with these ideas and just be hanging out.
Yeah.
Text them, be like, yo, what do you think of this idea? It's like, dude, when you get back, let's fucking make it, man.
Yeah.
And I remember I went and see, when he played here last time in LA at his at the Shrine. He just kept pressing this dolphin button while he was playing, and it stuck in my head. I was like, man, that like he was doing it like kind of rhythmically at a certain point. I was like, there should be a song like that for sure. Like why? So I started making it. Maybe even kind of like subconsciously with the idea. That just dawned on me. I was like, there's no way I can put this out without like working on this with Dylan. You know what I mean? Like, so it kind of had like a general form, and then we started playing around with it, and it got 100 times better, So, yeah, it's always fun.
Any more Meowski 666 comments?
I don't know. Like, that, I think that the fun thing about that stuff is that like, I remember like one of my, like Tim and Eric. Like they did the Steve Brule thing with John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
And for a little while, it was just like this little piece of the Tim and Eric Awesome Show. And then it got so popular that people, that they made it an actual series. Check it out, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then it's like, people are like, when are you going to make another one? They're like, I don't know. Like, do you guys really want us to make more shit like this? And it turns out people did. So, I mean, who knows? Like, you know how it goes. If there's a supply, someone's going to meet the demand. I would rather have it be us making animal music than some other fucking guy, Ocean Terror.
Ben Loves Pizza says, even though it was a while back, what was it like collaborating with Korn, and would you ever do anything like that again? Meaning dubstep and metal fusion, just genre bending.
And like, what was the experience like? Was that something that you always wanted to do, like work with a band like that, or?
Yeah, man. I mean, like that whole thing happened pretty organically. Like Skrillex was working with them already. He had done that Get Up track, if I remember correctly. That was a while ago now. But I went to Coachella, and he brought them out. He brought them out on a set at Coachella, which was like super crazy. And we were just hanging backstage, and he's like, "Yo, Jonathan Davis, like Jake, like you guys should know each other." And he was like, "Dude, like we're working on an album. I'd love to have you be a part of it." So. I was like, whoa, holy shit. I mean, literally, I was just like there to hang out and like watch the show, you know? So, and I, obviously, like grew up in that era, so I was already a fan. But yeah, like even on this new album, I'm working with Aaron Bruno from AWOL Nation.
Yeah, exactly.
And I grew up listening to bands, so it's like, and if I had the ability to work better creatively with like a group of people, consistently, I love doing collaborations, but to actually have a project where I'm like a band, I'd be in a band if I could do that, but I'm too much of a power guy. Like I have to have all the say.
Yeah.
But I'd love to do more stuff like that. You know, I hope that I love working with vocalists in particular.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any like this will be out Sunday, so I don't know if like anything else is coming out or anything. But do you have anyone that you worked with on this album that was like super cool to like any vocalists or anything like that you collaborated with?
There's quite a few on there.
I know the AWOL Nation guys. That song came out earlier this month. Yeah.
Every situation was unique, and I learned tons of stuff in each one, and the songs are all quite different as well. Mm-hmm. But I think that like the working with Aaron was like a really, because most of the time we were hanging, we were just doing this, like just talking about just our creative process and like just why we do what we're doing and stuff like that, which seems simple. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's complicated. And like just how we ended up working together is kind of like maybe an unlikely situation, but it's an interesting time where things like that can happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like what's the process of, you know, working with a vocalist as a electronic producer? Like where does it start and how do you build from that?
Well, like I was saying, each one was quite different actually. Like working with Aaron, like I said, most of the time we were just talking, and then actually like he recorded stuff after we left and sent it to me, and I was like, this is awesome. Like then I started playing around. I sent it back to him. I was like, what do you think? He's like, it's great. That was it.
That was easy.
And then but then there was stuff like with working with Stalking Gia that's on there. Her name was Tiffany. Mm-hmm. We got together a bunch of times, and actually at a certain point, like I was like helping write some of the lyrics and stuff, and she sang everything and like came up with the hook and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was like that one felt a little bit more collaborative, even though at the end of the day I didn't sing anything. I can't sing. Yeah. I wish I could.
We got auto-tune for that now.
And then like, you know, there's another one where I worked with this guy, Two Ton, and for that one I was over in London and worked in this guy Ben Verse's studio and knocked that one out in a day. But we were just like hanging. Like it was all of these situations were pretty like organic. Like
it seems like it to be pretty comfortable with whoever you're working with and have kind of a.
Try a bunch of stuff. Like there's a bunch of stuff we didn't use in some of these cases, and then we just, you know, you kind of like shave down stuff that works, and maybe the track had this one shape before that. You change the track around it so it kind of meet in the middle somewhere, and that's the song, you know. So, but it's a skill working with vocalists. It's not everybody can do it, and like. I feel like I'm getting better at it. It takes some time though, you know, like trying to get, because you're like working with a person that's like they're actually like an instrument too, you know. So they might have like really good ideas, but the performance, you have to decide if the performance could be better, and like, you know, in certain cases it's like, well, this is a great idea, but maybe this isn't the guy to do it, you know. So then you take that idea and work with a different vocalist, and there's all these different approaches. I don't like to do stuff like that. I like the more kind of like intimate, like you're the one that's coming up with the idea, like we're gonna make this dope. Like if you're down to like commit to like, you know, go and do it again, like try to capture that magic like we were talking about, like maybe we stop for the day, go outside and like get a coffee or take a walk or something, come back and try it again. Like I think people hear that in records too. Like we live in an environment now where, in electronic music, where like guys have so many resources now. It's like, all right, have this guy write the song, and this guy sing it, or get 10 people to sing it, and we'll pick the best one. Mm-hmm. And then this guy's gonna mix it because he's the best at mixing in the world. And then you end up with this idea that's like just so refined that it's like, okay, well, when I'm in the mood to listen to something like that, it's just so like picture perfect. It kind of reminds me of like video games. It's like I've been playing like The Witcher 3.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this game is like beautiful. It's like incredibly detailed. But sometimes I always just go back to like just like fucking around in like Minecraft or something, you know? And it's just like
just chipping away at
there's something about those experiences that I like. I like the dynamics of those experiences.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's the same thing with music when it's like, you know, you might show your record to some guy that works at some major label and they're like,
Yeah.
Like, you need to get someone else to re-sing this song, you know? And it's like, well, then it's not the song anymore. Now it's this other song.
Yeah.
You know? The reason why this, I mean, like, imagine, like, I'm sure there's people where, like, guys like Kurt Cobain or something. I think it was in that documentary. It's like bringing his demos into the office, and people are like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? It's like, this is the shit. This is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, at a certain point, again, thing with your buddies and shit, like, being like, this is dope. Don't listen to these motherfuckers. Like, just put it out there. Try to find your audience, you know?
So it's easy to find Jake in Kill the Noise songs.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe that's the only, like, you're talking about the thread that holds this stuff together. Like, you know, I think that if you truly are the guy that's, like, holding the pen when you're drawing the picture, in this case, it's music. And I am the guy that's, like, ideas here and my hands are on the project, you know? Like, my sleeves are rolled up. You can't help but have your kind of DNA, so to speak,
Yeah.
all over it, you know? So I think you can kind of tell something's up when you listen to somebody's record and you're like, I don't feel his presence in the song,
That
you know?
leads right into this question from Gooby. What
Gooby,
is your
please.
view on ghost producers?
Probably means this is a thing that's and it's been coming up a lot more recently because people
Drake
have been,
well, it's not producing, but it's a similar sort of thread.
There's like a bunch of websites and Twitter accounts now dedicated to exposing people who do this and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess they're trying to spread, I guess, awareness that this is happening. What are your views on this?
Oh, man, I got tons of views on it. But it's like,
Maddie, get us another card. Get us another SD card.
I got tons of views on it. Like, I think at the end of the day, that could be a whole thing. Like, a whole thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different things to consider about that. And, like, you know, I mean, like think about, like, putting together, like, a movie, you know? Like, and I've had the opportunity to be around movie stuff and see how it's put together. And there's a lot of fucking people involved, you know? One person, it's not like the director for some, you know, like Star Wars, like we were talking about earlier. It's like, you have ghost producers making this record because your name is the director.
Yeah.
But where's all these other guys?
Who's
it's
this
like,
grip
well,
guy?
did you sit there and sit through like the fucking like 10 songs at the end of the movie and watch those names? It's like, those are the guys that made it. Like you got to get specific. It's like there was a guy that was like literally like with a rotoscope, like fucking about to blow his brains out, like making one like 5-second piece, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that dude's a fucking genius, you know? And like, you got to give that guy some credit. But I think it's the same thing with, I think where it becomes an issue with this ghost production thing is you got this situation where you got guys that are doing all of it. It's like, and I think that they have this, and I'm one of those kind of guys, you know? And you feel entitled because you're like, I know that guy's got like a fucking sweatshop of people that are like and he just stands there like, check out my new fucking song.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the way they carry themselves that they're up there like kind of like parading around like they're the shit and they have all this talent.
Yeah, well, even rock bands going back throughout time like have
Yeah.
producers and have other people with their hands on the album and stuff like that.
Like, you know, like you think David Letterman like writes all those jokes? Maybe I don't even actually know if that's true. Maybe he does. I don't think he does though.
I think he gives a thumbs up to the good ones.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older guy. He's probably like, yeah, that's funny, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll say, you know, sounds good to me.
But he still has a team. Jon Stewart had a team.
He's the personality, and that's the thing. Like, that's where all this stuff gets like kind of dicey. Is it's like the thing is like certain artists, they're personalities, you know? They're entertainers. We're all entertainers at the end of the day. You guys are entertainers, you know?
Thank you.
I mean, even guys on YouTube that are uploading their videos, like of games they're playing, they're entertainers.
They didn't make the game,
The second that they take their idea and they put it out there and they say, watch this, like you're entertaining an audience, you know? Or you're not, in most cases. You're not entertaining anybody, and they'll let you know. They'll say, you fucking suck, you know? Or whatever. But there's other guys out there that their whole thing is just like putting on a show, you know? And to say that certain guys are really good at like putting the pieces together, almost like a director, where they're like, this guy makes sick tunes, you know, these, you know, whatever. I mean, even in my place where I say that I do it all, I don't do it all. I make the music.
Lighting guys, sound guys.
But, you know, I mean, I have a manager that does a fucking lot of work. I have, like, the guys at the label at Owsla, they all do a lot of fucking work. Like, PR people, Biz3, they do a lot of work. Everyone does a lot of work, you know? And it's like...
The productions at these shows are... And I know a lot of our people watching have been to them because I've talked to them on Twitter about it and stuff like that. And they're always like, I went to, like, EDC, like, not this year, but last year. And they're just like, oh, my God, you went to EDC? And I was just like, it was the most incredible production I've ever seen, regardless of the movie. It's like... It's insane, and
the electrician should get a fucking award.
That's something that they have, and a lot of the festivals have started to recognize, is that like the music part of those, the best festival. I mean, even like, you know, if you've ever been to like Burning Man, you know, it's like the part that people equally enjoy is like just walking around and like being there, you know.
The experience,
and I agree with
all,
that. Like I wouldn't want people to show up in like a parking garage. It's like, come listen to my great music in this, and like smelling exhaust and like slipping on oil and shit. It's like, I want people to be in a cool environment where they're like, that adds to people's like, I mean, perfect examples like going on like Holy Ship or something, you know? It's like kids, I played on Holy Ship 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, which, RH, you have to get us on Holy Ship this year. We'll do live news. No? Okay, cool.
Day 2.
But people talk about it as this like almost like a Woodstock kind of a vibe, where they're and kids love going to that, and like the music is a symbiotic piece of that experience, you know. And
sorry,
little friend,
we didn't pay our exterminator bill.
So yeah, I like the ghost production thing. I think that the people, I love that kids are aware of it, because that to me gives me a lot of faith in all the detail that I put into my music, you know? It's like when I hear something that's ghost produced, it's like, you better be like putting that guy's kids through college and all kinds of shit for him to put the kind of effort he's going to put into his own shit, you know? And when I hear stuff from certain guys, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like just some guy that was like knocking it out over the weekend, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think at a certain point you just reach this threshold where people, the hype of EDM and all that kind of stuff kind of like starts to fade away, and then people are like who are the artists?
Yeah.
Like, who are the creative guys? Who are the guys that are like, fuck? It's like a
You
I
killed
feel
his
like,
fly.
yeah, some like DJ just sent his like drone after me. Just get me to shut up, you know?
Stop. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with like, I mean, it was way more obvious like in the boy band era, and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Like, you think those guys are like really, really sitting around and writing those pop hits?
Well, it's clear who wasn't. Like guys like Justin Timberlake, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And he goes on and excels and becomes this massive.
I mean,
thing.
now he's like, I just saw something the other day that he's like writing some kind of like songs for TV shows now and stuff like that. It's like that to me is the thing that guys that are kind of like faking the music part. It's like if you're saying that you're a musician and you don't actually make music, at a certain point your career is going to be over, because I think that unless you're going to be like Gallagher or some shit in Vegas, like smashing.
I don't even think Gallagher's in Vegas at this point.
Well, I mean, I think there's always going to be room for him to do that show, like at a county fair or some shit.
Smashing a watermelon. He's going to smash the thing that hits
Riverside
the bell.
County
Giving
Fair.
out free animals.
But the rest of us that are like, you know, we love making music, you know, and we're like sharpening our tools, and we're hanging with each other, and we're like talking about. I mean, even this, like, you guys are artists in your own right, you know, doing. I don't know about your personal lives. I would imagine, but having a guy like me allowing me to talk about the shit I'm talking about, that you guys have an appreciation for the details of creating art, you know?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think that, I mean, I learn the most usually by hanging out with people that are artistic, that do something different, you know, that don't make music, like that work on films or, you know, even paint or whatever, you know? It's like, you always find these cool similarities, and then when you sit down and do something, you're like, man, I never thought about thinking about it that way, you know, like the way that someone would approach something with visual art, you know, starting there first. So I think that you just end up becoming this creative force in the world by doing it, by actually like being the musician.
Do you think like EDM being so huge the last like 5 to 10 years has kind of damaged the artistic core of what people like you do?
I don't know. I think that like, I don't know. I think that there's like arguments for both sides. There's like this one argument that says like, you get this like huge rush of people paying attention all of a sudden. So, I mean, I see how that can work. It's like, whether or not I'm into the newest like David Guetta thing on the radio or not, doesn't, maybe some of those kids will go to a big festival and they'll hear me at another stage and come over and be like, oh shit. Yeah. Like, this is dope, you know?
I think it's easy to say too that like nowadays, especially with music and even consumable like content like this, is the audience is always there and looking for stuff. It's not labels and people like that, like Columbia House in like the 70s or something being like, here's the album.
Here's everything that exists.
Now, no, you can just go on, and regardless of if a mainstream pop EDM kind of thing goes and fades, there's always going to be this like congruent. You don't even have to make it a genre or anything like that. You follow who you like, and it's up to you to discover that. And once you do, I think you're pretty much locked in, regardless of what people think anymore, or how they're going to orchestrate it, and basically getting the. It's no longer a music or a record label giving you the option to make an album. It's just you can just make it at this point, pretty much.
And what you're saying, I think, plays into the ghost production thing, like about kind of the integrity of the music or whatever, and the integrity of me. It's like, okay, if this guy over here is like, you know, clearly got ghost producers and like he's all just about the kind of show or whatever.
Gallagher, the DJ Gallagher.
Yeah, somehow that chips away at my credibility because I'm an EDM guy. And I feel that sometimes, you know, like where I'm like, don't call me EDM. Like just the other day, like there's this article thing that I wrote, and in the top part it said EDM artist or something. And I was like, is there a way we could change that to like electronic music producer or something other than EDM? Just because I feel like that it's such a blanket term now. That like,
it could be anything.
Yeah, so in that sense, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like there's parts of it becoming so big and everybody flocking, even if it is to stuff that I'm not really that into, just for the possibility of them discovering me, you know? Because even, you know, it's like people might listen to some station on XM radio or something, and I get a track on there somehow, you know? And like they listen to it because they want to hear the new whatever, Tiesto song or whatever, and then they discover me. Yeah. And not to say anything bad about Tiesto, but you know what I mean. Like they might be just interested in something completely different and then discover one of my things. So there's this weird line you walk where it's like, kind of am happy to be associated with all the excitement, but I also want there to be some kind of distinction that I'm like a creative, and that's my job. Like that's the thing that a lot of these kids that are getting angry about all this stuff. It's like had a talk with this guy, work with Susboy, does like a lot of graphic stuff for Skrillex, a bunch of people. He said something to me that kind of resonated with me. It's like, if you want people to appreciate some of the intricacies of what you do, you have to explain to them in some way creatively how to know that, you know? Because I mean, I remember even with 9 Inch Nails, it wasn't until I read an article in Rolling Stone about him fucking around with samplers and the science of it all that I was like, holy shit, this guy's doing this shit all by himself.
I guarantee you, like a bunch of kids hear a track on the radio and in their brain it's just what is it, like Mario Paint that came out in the mid 90s?
Yeah, have you seen this shit? The Mario, there's a bunch of YouTube videos of people taking like emulators of the old Mario Paint, like Super NES game, and like creating. There was like a really simple like MIDI editor in it.
Oh yeah,
and people are going in and creating like modern songs.
I have seen that.
It's fucking
sick.
Nuts.
Yeah. I have seen that.
I think that some people, when they think about, you know, it goes back to like years ago, the first argument ever made against EDM being the mainstream was people just press the space bar, which is just completely, for the most part, not true.
Yeah.
But I think people have this overly simplistic view in their mind of how things are created and how things are played, and it even goes with like YouTube stuff. Like people don't, I would assume that me and Elliot don't sit there for half the day writing scripts all day,
right?
And actually doing work, and instead just go Avengers.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do that, right?
No, yeah, that's the fun part.
Twice.
Yeah.
Only when we travel.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, fuck, man, I'm just gonna wing it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think that the thing that I try to remember through all this stuff is that, like, if it was easy, then like everybody would be doing it, and like having some kind of code. That's how you get through life, man. That's how you find your friends. That's how you find the people you want to work with, is like just your belief system, you know? And it's like the yin and yang thing, like where it's like if that didn't exist, then I couldn't exist, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like if all the shit that I don't like about the world, I mean, I don't know if that's a good way to look at things, but it gives me drive, you know?
Yeah.
When I go to shows, sometimes I get so pissed off. And I'm like, fuck. That's also part of the reason why I get pissed off at some of these kids. I look at some of the shit that they're writing. I'm like, dude, I'm on your side. What the fuck are you yelling at me for? You're like talking shit to me.
Yeah.
I'm like part of your team.
I'm sure there's also on the opposite spectrum where you go to a show and you're like, I need to fucking up my game because
absolutely.
that guy just killed it.
Yeah, totally, man.
Or girl.
I mean, every day. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, every day pretty much. Like I look online and I'm like, holy shit. Like, like kids are growing up in an environment where they have all the tools, you know? Like took me so long just to get my tools, you know? Like, I mean, imagine like it's a difference between like using Minecraft as a example. It's like I feel like kids are like I'm playing it. I've been playing my whole life in like adventure mode, and they started in creative mode, so they like have all the everything, so they can draw all these crazy things. And it's like I'm like fucking killing things and like digging endless holes to find
running from Enderman.
Yeah. I'm like, that's how I look at things. But that in itself presents a challenge because I think that when you limit your creative resources, it forces you to be more kind of resourceful, you know, and like do more with less. And I think that is like the core of creativity. Yeah,
there was an interview recently with the guys from Blumhouse. They do the low budget horror they're all insanely successful now. I think they started with what was Paranormal Activity.
Yeah,
they've branched out to some other stuff. And
Whiplash
was a great example of it, where they had basically no budget and I forget what director was on talking about it, but he was saying like, I've never worked so creatively on a project than when I had all of my budget taken away from me.
Yeah,
he was coming from big budget stuff, and he was just like. And I think it turned out better than it would have if they had given me all the money and resources that I need.
Totally, man. Like it's like with like Napoleon Dynamite. Things like that. It's like, yeah. I mean, there's no reason why you can't. I think that's the thing that the other part of that whole thing with the sticking with your friends. It's like, dude, you guys can do it, man. Like, there's guys that spend, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars on like a music video, and it's like. But in the meantime, it's like guys like Tyler, the Creator, made like a video that had like 10, like I don't even know how many now, but probably like hundreds of millions of views, you know? It's just him and his buddies like fucking doing shit that they think is sick, you know? And it's like, the second you lose that spirit along the way is when you're just fucked, you know? You're just lost. Yeah. Like, and it happens slowly, you know? It happens in those moments where you're like, I know this isn't the right thing, like, and you compromise your integrity to go for the cash or whatever,